And welcome everybody to the PCS Like a Pro show. I'm Megan Harless, your host like always. And I'm very excited with what we are going to be talking about today. I'm so excited to talk with one of my good friends, Marla, and share all the good things that she is doing as well. But before we get into all of that and talking about PCSing, I just want to remind everybody that is coming up on a PCS this summer. First thing, like I say all the time, is that if you have your orders, you're coming down on orders, you need to go ahead and get on DPS and get your move set up. You need to be able to get that set up, get that in there, so that way when the transportation offices start booking moves, yours will be in line there to be able to get booked. So do not sit on your orders and wait thinking like, oh, it'll be fine, I can book it a month out. You need to be able to give your transportation office some lead time. And also it gives your moving company that gets assigned to you some lead time as well to be able to plan your move also. If you're doing a PPM or do-it-yourself move, make sure that you also set up on DPS a PPM move as well, especially if you want to be paid for it. You need to set it up on DPS. There's some counseling that needs to happen in there, some other forms that need to get filled out in there. So don't assume you can just do it yourself and go to your transportation office and turn in some weight tickets. You need to set it up on DPS and have all that approval stuff first before you actually go and do that. So order season's happening. I know a lot of folks are coming down on orders. A lot of folks are expecting orders in the next few weeks. So most important thing when you get them, go ahead and get that move set up. So we're going to jump right into today and talk with my good friend, Marla. Marla, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend with us. If you could just take a minute and introduce yourself to everybody.
Yes, thank you, Megan, for having me. This is so awesome. I absolutely adore you, and I love this show because you just give everyone so much knowledge on what to do and how to do it in all things PCS. So thank you so much for what you do. I'm Marla Bautista. I am a nonprofit leader of the Bautista Project. I am the co-founder alongside of my husband, Staff Sergeant or Sergeant First Class. Sorry, Ulysses Bautista. He's in the Army. He's been in the Army for 19 years. And we are currently stationed at MacDill Air Force Base. We have PCS 5 times, I believe. We've been through 1 official deployment and 3 kids, a puppy, and 2 fish. One of the fish went to the hospital and came back better. So that's my spill.
I love it. So we're going to just jump right in. I see some comments coming in. It shows up as Facebook user because it's coming in from our group, but I can see the comments here that it's from Paulette Fryer, who we love, Paulette. And hey, Paulette, we're glad that you're joining us today.
Yes.
If you've missed it, we've had Paulette on a previous show before talking about her experience PCSing. She's a Coast Guard family. So if you missed it, we'll get the YouTube link dropped into the comments. You can go back and be able to watch it because it was a really great show as well. So diving into today. So first, I want to talk about the organization that you have and what you do. So can you tell us some about what the Bautista Project is?
Yes, so the Bautista Project is a nonprofit organization that provides for homeless community members currently here in Tampa, Florida. This mission started off as a personal mission of mine. After being homeless, I was actually homeless as a young adult, and I decided that I wanted to spend my life giving back to people in need. Once I overcame homelessness, I did exactly that. I started to provide meals and clothing items for people in need. And later, it kind of just grew. It kind of grew with my family and my friends and all over the world. Every duty station we went to, I found a community that we could help and a community we can provide for. And I started advocating for homeless community members all over the world. So that's what we do. We provide for homeless community members. We make sure they have their basic living essentials, which is, nutritional meals, clothing, hygiene, educational resources, transportation vouchers, and all things that we all need to be successful. So that's what I do kind of in a nutshell.
So you touched on some of them, but I want to break it out a little bit more and talk more about some of the initiatives that you have started with your organization. If you could just tell us more about some of the big ones that you guys have been doing there.
Yes. So one of our favorite programs is the Belonging Blanket Project. And this project is near and dear to my heart. And it's kind of a favorite all over the nation. So the Belonging Blanket Program is a program that provides blankets and pillows to at-risk youth. And those blankets and pillows are made out of authentic military uniforms. So all services, all branches, all times, all errors, the uniforms, we collect them from all over. So if you ever want to mail us uniforms, you can definitely do so. But also, when you do mail them, tell us a story about your time in service, because we like to pass those stories on to the children. And the reason why we do this, well, the very first reason is actually a PCS reason because we were in the process of purging and right before PCS, and I go in the garage and of course I trip over a bin of uniforms. I don't know if you guys have experienced that, but I definitely am like, "Urgh." And so I was like, what are you doing with these uniforms? My husband has been in for 19 years. So he started off with the BDU uniform, then moved over to OCPs and now, or ACUs, and then now OCPs. And so we had this big bin of BDUs. And I'm like, these are super old. What are you doing with them? He's like, well, of course, I'm going to save them for cutting the grass.
Forever.
Random reasons that just it didn't. I was like, okay, no. So I was like, what if we made like blankets and like gave them away to like the kids in foster care or in group homes? And so, he was like, cool, let's do that. And so we didn't know how to sew. Um, this idea was just like a harebrained idea that I had. We had no idea how to sew, but of course, YouTube was a thing. So we went to YouTube, we learned how to sew. I did not figure that out still. So I'm allowed to cut fabric, but that's okay. So I cut fabric, but my husband and my daughter were the ones that initially started this project. They started sewing uniforms to create these blankets and pillows. And my friends jumped in. My MSOI friends, my Armed Forces Military Spouse of the Year friends jumped in and helped provide duffel bags and other gifts for the kids in need. And so every year we do this project, and these uniforms are repurposed for a new purpose. They have a life outside of the military. They're able to live on and give these kids, a sense of hope, a sense of belonging, and a sense of bravery.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you guys do the belonging blankets, but you guys also do you make bags as well for homeless people, and you also what is it that you do? I see you guys do it all the time, you and your family. And I love that it's a family thing too. It's not just you doing, it's not just you and your spouse, but it really is a true family event that you guys got going on, and then bringing in other people from the community. But you've also done where you've gone and you've made like sandwiches and like lunch sacks for homeless friends. And you've, I think I saw one time your husband was giving haircuts to some homeless folks too. So can you talk some more about some of the other things that you guys do as well within your organization?
Yes, so we do snack packs. We provide meals for the homeless community. And actually, I know a lot of people are interested in doing that. And I want to tell you how to do it. It's really cheap to do. It's about $1 a meal if you want to provide meals to homeless community members in your area. So what you do is, how we started this project was we went to Walmart. We got a sack of paper bags, the lunch paper bags. I think they were like $2 for a pack of 50 of them. We got those. We bought individual bags of chips, turkey lunch meat, bread, and bottled water. And we started handing them out to people in need. So we were able to do, the first time we did it, we did like 25, and it was like around $26 or $27. And so I was like, wow, this really doesn't take a lot. Like, this is honestly, what, 3 Starbucks coffees? I think. So to feed 25 people, it costs you about 3 coffees. And so we started doing this project as a family. We still do this project as a family. All of our projects, our families included. We want to teach our children about giving back to people in need, but also respecting everyone as human, as individuals, and as equals, because that's really important to our family. No matter what your economic status is, you should be respected as an individual. And so we teach our kids that. And so one of our most favorite upcoming events that we do is we make Easter baskets. So this was something I learned back in school. If you've ever made those paper weaved Easter baskets where you overlap the paper, so we do that, and we do Easter eggs. And so back in my day, we used to have to eat all the Easter eggs, and they were all real boiled eggs. And now, like, the eggs are full of candy, or they boil the eggs and dye them, but no one eats them. And so my daughter, because she's actually allergic to eggs, but she loves dyeing them. So we started making Easter baskets and putting the boiled eggs and then candy in the Easter baskets. And my kids love it because it's an awesome craft project for the entire family. And we were able to then go hand them out to people in need. And not only were they grateful for, what they received as far as like having the boiled eggs and the candy and stuff, but they were in awe of the amount of art that my kids, the amount of time and effort my kids put into making those specifically for them.
No, that is awesome. I love hearing that. So we got a couple comments here I just want to put up and show. So this is again from Paulette Pryor, that Marla doing all the amazing things, which Marla does. So if you guys ever get time to meet her and to sit down with her more one-on-one, definitely take that time, because Marla has, you have this fierce energy about you of just wanting to change the world and better the world. And it's one of the great things that I love about you. We got Stacy joining us, which is another soy friend of ours that we love to see. So thanks for joining us today, Stacy. We got Sergio, when you were talking about YouTube, that YouTube is the best trainer. You can find a how-to video about anything on YouTube. And I love that that gentleman. I don't know his name. I'm going to find his, what do you call it? His YouTube channel. I'm going to link in the comments. But how he's like the dad of YouTube, that he's like, you don't have a dad to teach you how to change a tire. I'm going to teach you how to change it. So yeah, we love YouTube around here. We got John joining us again this week, loving the spirit and the cause of what it is that you are doing. And then this is going to lead into the next question that I have for you. So Sadie, wanting to get involved with you. She makes t-shirt quilts, and she would love to donate some time and talents to help support you with the blankets, I assume. So Sadie, go ahead, message my the PCS Like a Pro page. Give me your email address, and I will send that to Marla so she can connect with you. But how can we support you? How can we otherwise get involved and help do what it is that you're doing in bettering our community?
So for the Bautista Project specifically, if you want to help our homeless community here in Tampa, Florida, you can do so by visiting our website. We have lots of volunteer opportunities there, and not just in-person volunteer opportunities, virtual volunteer opportunities as well. You can also visit our Amazon wish list. You can donate via Cash App or via PayPal. But we are really in need of community all over, not just here in Tampa. And so I always tell people, while I appreciate you wanting to help our organization, I want the help to be in every part of our nation, because that's how we'll end homelessness. We have to do this together as a community, as a collective. And so in order to do that, we have to do it everywhere. So if you're able to help our organization, thank you. Please do so. We will be forever grateful. But if you can help your own community, that matters too. That helps us too, because our goal is to end homelessness. We can't end homelessness as one. It takes all of us everywhere to end homelessness. So in order to do that, start volunteering at your local shelters, at your local veteran shelters or civilian homeless shelters. Volunteer your time at a soup kitchen, serve at the schools within underserved communities, volunteer at a school, volunteer to pick up trash at your local park. These are things that you can do that don't cost you any money, but it will cost you a little bit of time and energy. And that makes a difference in our world. So please do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll see that I've got Marla's, the Batista Project website up here. And I've also got it posted down into the comments so you all can go take a look, see what it is that she is doing. And besides all that, getting involved local, there's places where you can shop from Marla's Amazon wish list, items that she puts into those bags that she hands out into her community, and other items and things there as well. So let's switch gears a little bit into the PCSing of things. We know a lot of times when families are moving, they do the purge, and we see here in the comments we got Vanessa joining us that she's been doing the purging for a few months. That I am a big fan of the purging. It helps you clear unneeded stuff out. She's been donating a lot of it to the local Buy Nothing group, local charities, Operation Deploy Your Dress, which is another organization that we love. We'll have Yvonne on here talking about that as well. But a lot of us do this purge, and then we have items that we're not moving with. And some of us will do yard sales. Some of us, like Vanessa, will just go give it away, donate it to where we can take it to. But what are some other things that these families can do with these items, and how else can they, kind of help do good with the stuff that they're getting rid of from their home?
So if you're getting ready to PCS, there are so many ways that you can help make our world a better place with the stuff you already have in your home. So if you've got furniture or clothing or items of that nature, you can always go donate it to a local charity. I prefer, my personal preference is to donate to organizations that will use or re-gift those items out versus selling them. And the only reason that I say that is because there are a lot of thrift stores and they have a lot of things. And a lot of times those things sit for a long time while families are still in need of things and can't even afford the things from the thrift store. So try to locate organizations that will re-gift your items to a family in need or to an individual in need. So of course, ball gowns, Operation Deploy Your Dress is my go-to for ball gowns. When I have events, I have a thing where I like to wear a dress once, and I probably should go to therapy for that. But I only like to wear a dress one time. So afterwards, I'll donate it to Operation Deploy Your Dress, and that way it can be gifted to someone else, and it gives an opportunity to another military spouse to enjoy a military ball without having to pay $300 for a gown because those gowns are expensive. And then also, if you have pantry items, one of the things that you can do with your pantry items is you can take that also to a local shelter that has individuals staying there, because they can use a lot of the canned goods there. They can use a lot of the unopened food there, a lot of the seasoning they'll take and they'll use it for the individuals who are residing there. Another one that people don't often think about, your pets, right? So, and I'm not talking about regifting your pets, but if you do that, please take them to the the SPCA, or your local animal shelter. Please do not just leave them. But if you have cat or dog items or any pet items, please give those to your local animal shelter. They can use things like towels, a lot of towels, dog bowls, pet feeding bowls, pet toys, pet shampoos, things of that nature. They can always use that helps them cut their costs, and it allows them to provide better service to the animals in need there. So check those places out. Shoes. Okay, Megan, I have a category for everything. So shoes, DSW actually will give you points for gifting used shoes to them that they then donate out. So I'm a DSW snob. Shout out to DSW. That was an unpaid plug, but DSW, because they have so many good coupons. So what I do is if I have shoes that I no longer wear, I'll take them to DSW. They have this big bin and they give you 50 points for every pair of shoes you donate. And that's kids' shoes, that's everyone's shoes. So I do that because those points add up to gift cards and money off of your purchases. So like, it's not only helping other people, but it's helping you too. Eyeglasses, take them back to the eyeglass store. My husband collects glasses from the army. I don't know why they give you so many pairs of glasses. But he has so many pairs of glasses. When you're done with them, take them back. If the prescription is no longer valid or you got a new style, go take them back. They will actually repurpose those glasses and donate them to an individual who can't afford glasses.
Yeah, I feel like you're looking at my dining room table, which is next to me, that has all these different piles of stuff that we've collected from doing our purge. So I've got like 5 pairs of glasses sitting over there that came between me and my husband, just old pairs that we have moved around with us the last however many years. I've got a pile of my daughter's shoes here on the ground because we just finished cleaning out her shoes this weekend as she was starting to complain that her toes were hurting in her shoes. So a lot of great tips there. And I did not know that about DSW. So I'm very excited as a DSW person myself because they have really great deals
They
sometimes.
do.
Knowing that we can take our shoes there as well. And then here in the comments, again, this is coming from Paulette here in our group that for shoes that she's donated shoes to Souls for Souls as well. So there's many different organizations out there.
Yes.
So there's just a lot. And when we think about, everything that we clean out of our home, there's a place that it can all go to, as you mentioned, with the pets and everything. Like a lot of times we think like, oh, we have towels we're not moving because maybe they're old. They might have a ripped corner. They might have a hole in the seam. Or I think like, let's just replace them. But that we can take them to animal shelters and not just have to throw them in the trash or anything like that. That there's always a place for everything.
There is really. I'm actually the queen of repurposing things, like even your curtains. So we lived in Germany, we had so many huge windows. And then we moved back to America and we didn't have as many windows. So even donating your curtains to a local shelter is amazing because they can use them not only in the shelter, but then when families in need come, like, could you imagine like a family who's just exited homelessness, who now needs to furnish an entire home.
Yeah.
So getting a vacuum cleaner, a table, a chair, even one chair, even a TV tray, those things matter and they add up. So definitely like using what you have to make our world a better place. Like it works and it helps you because you're getting rid of the stuff. I mean, I don't know about you, Megan, but like I can dump a house before we move. I can dump it into. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if this furniture is good. My husband's like, the furniture's fine. I'm like, I don't know.
No, I tell you right now, we are not moving with our living room furniture. Our couch and our love seat are not going with us. They're going to be at the curb come moving day. Ours are just kind of old, kind of falling apart. They've seen better days, and I wanted to get new furniture. My husband's like, we're moving. Can you wait till after we move? I think he's looking forward to that little bit of weight not being in our move since we have a home gym we have to kind of deal with now.
Wow.
And that way. But I mean, there is a place for everything. And a lot of organizations now will post their things, their need list or their approved donation list, like online, where you can go and you can search and you can take a look before showing up someplace with, your couch in the back of your truck or whatever it is, and having to drive around town. So being able to look and see ahead of time can definitely go a long way. We can go check the comments here. We've got Sadie of how many couches they've owned. I am proud to say we're on our second set here, and only because our first set got ruined in a move. And this one my children have just ruined because they like to roughhouse on the couch instead of the floor because we got a couple other, let me see here. I think there were a couple of questions. So this one also comes from Paulette here talking about Airman's Attic as another organization as well. So if you live on post or Airman's Attics, and there's some lending closets on Army installations. I'm not sure about the Navy or the Air Coast Guard or Marine Corps. But some installations do have these lending closet type of places where you can go, you can donate stuff to, or if you arrive and you need to, borrow a table before your household goods arrive or whatever it may be, like they're a great place where you can go and find some things like that. You find more of them Oconus locations, but there are still some other CONUS locations as well.
Yes.
We got a question here from Sherry. We're glad you're joining with us, Sherry. It's great to see you. What about children's books? Where can folks donate children's books to?
Yes. And thank you, Sherry, for that question, because you just reminded me I have to take a bin of books out of my storage and donate it. So children's books, a lot of people immediately go to the Goodwill to donate them, but definitely a lot of local schools will actually take your books depending on the age of the books and the conditions. A lot of local schools or daycare centers will take those books. So donating your children's books to local shelters or daycare centers or after school programs is great. So try to find one in your area. I do the shelters because I have a mixture of children's books and novels, adult novels and stuff. And so I will just donate them to a shelter that has a diverse clientele. That way everybody can get something. But if you didn't know, and also before you buy books, check out your installations library, because there is always a free section in your library where you don't have to check out the book, where you can have these books for free. And so I am a book collector. I love to read books. And again, I do my books like I do my dresses. I read them once and then they're out. And so I'll go get the books from the free section, or I'll bring books to donate. And so it's like a give and take, but it helps everyone. And education is important. And it's not fair that if you can't afford a book, you can't afford to read.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone should be able to have access to books. Everyone should be able to have access to educational materials. So please donate your books to an organization that will re-gift them out as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know there's several. I've seen several also like local coffee shops that have like a free book shelf as well, which I love seeing there. And there was one time for us where we had a lot of children's books. We had a yard sale and we had a whole bunch left over. And one of my friends had reached out. She knew we had books left over. Her daughter was a Girl Scout, and they were creating a like community lending library locations and stuff. And so like I took her a bunch of books to help stock their community lending libraries. You know, you see those like little posts with the boxes on top with the little door and the free books. So it was one of those types of programs. So it was really exciting to know that other people would get to enjoy those books as well. And then we do got a question here. It comes from, again, it's going to show up as Facebook user, but it's from Chelsea Davies in our group. Do you have a file or something that they can share with other spouses? I think something more along the lines of like the types of places to look at to donate. Some, like, you know, you can take towels to animal shelters. Do you have a resource list like that anywhere?
Yes, and I will send that to you, Megan, and then you can put it out to your group. But definitely, we have that resource available because, like I said, that's important to us. Mm-hmm. So yes, thank you for asking.
Yeah, so Chelsea, when I get that list from Marla, I'll get it uploaded into our Google Drive of our free resources, and I'll get that Google Drive link posted into the comments for you then, so that way you can go, anybody can go and use that or any of the other resources there. So moving on, one of the questions I love asking our military spouses that we have on the show is, do you have, in all of the PCSs that you've done, all the locations that you've been stationed at, do you have a favorite duty station and the least favorite duty station?
Okay. So no disrespect to leadership, because I love certain leaders, especially the commanding division leader at Fort Drum currently, General Beagle, and his wife, Pam. They are awesome. I love them. Fort Drum was my least favorite. I'm sorry.
Sometimes it's about location and not necessarily the people, because some of us are not made for extreme cold weather and made for multiple feet of snow, and that's totally okay.
No, so yeah, Fort Drum and the 6 feet, I'm good. Thank you for the experience. I'm good. My favorite, honestly, I'm gonna say Tampa. It used to be Heidelberg, Germany. I loved being in Germany, but I also loved being in Hawaii. But Tampa just has something for everyone. There's, the weather, of course, the weather is great. Mm-hmm. We can go swimming, we can go shopping, and they have all the foods. So I'm a foodie. I love tacos, but I also love, Cuban sandwiches and hummus and seafood. And so all of that is here. And so I definitely love Tampa. It's just a great place for opportunity. MacDill Air Force Base is awesome. Um,
Mhm.
Also, I guess I can't really say that because we're an Army family. So I take that back. Sorry. But
It's all good.
we've
We
never
share
lived
the
at
love
an Air
here.
Force Base before. And you heard all the cool things about the lobster and
Mhm.
the gold streets on the Air Force bases. It's like heaven opening the gates, and
The
they're all,
5-star hotels and the nice
yes.
yards
Yeah,
and
and there's a beach at MacDill on
yeah,
post. There's a whole beach.
right.
So
Which is awesome.
I'm sorry, Army. I love MacDill Air Force Base.
That's one of the perks, though, about our community and about our lifestyle of some is that we get stationed at, when we think that you're Army and that you can only be stationed at Army locations, but there's joint assignments out there where you can be stationed at Air Force bases or Marine Corps bases or whatever it may be. And
So
whatnot. So we get that ability, and it is always a big joke in our community for those watching that don't know our industry partners and folks. There's always this big joke where the Air Force gets, they spend all of their money first on like the tennis courts, the basketball courts,
yes,
the hotel, the fine dining, and then like you get to the Army and the Marine Corps, and like all of our money is spent on weaponry and technology and vehicles. And so by the time we get to the hotels and the dining, like we're using paper plates, and the hotel might be a 2 to 3 star level type of hotel. So it's all in good love and in good
yes,
fun that we have for each other. But it's always one of those things like, you know, we're stationed at the Air Force Base, and let me tell you about this, or we're stationed here. And it's always fun to see how the services kind of do things differently. How the installation
it's
with an
different.
Army installation, being an Army family, you generally know what to expect. But when you go to a different branch, it's kind of fun to be like, what is it going to be like? What's their PX going to be like? What's, the commissary there going to be like? And just getting to
Yeah.
see all of those fun
The
different,
PX here has a dentist office in it.
that's kind of fancy.
That's kind of fancy. Like, hey, I didn't make and a tattoo shop. And a tattoo shop.
Which is usually not heard of on military installations.
No. The dentist and a tattoo shop? I'm sorry, I'm switching.
I mean, so like after you go get your teeth pulled and you have all the Novocaine in your system, you might as well just
Go
go
get a
across the
tattoo.
hall and get your tattoo.
Grab
It
a
all works.
Starbucks, get a tattoo. And you can get your ID. There's an ID kiosk, an ID
I'm
card.
gonna come visit you, Marla, so that way we can explore this and be able to share it with everybody.
Absolutely. I love it here.
I feel like everybody needs to experience what Marla gets to experience. So as we wrap up today, my favorite question asking everybody as well is, what piece of advice would you want to pass on to other spouses?
The piece of advice I want to pass on to other spouses is to live your best life. And when I say that, I'm saying that as a military spouse of over 14 years, almost 15 years, um, there has been times where I felt really lonely. There's been times where I felt like I kind of lost myself, my identity. And so when I say live your best life, I mean live your best life. Do the things that you're passionate about. Find your purpose in life. Go get that education. Take those tours because this is the only life we have. And so use it wisely. And so that's what I mean when I say live your best life. There's a lot out there, and supporting your service member is very, very important, but you've got to support yourself as well.
No, absolutely. Definitely some good words to end today. And I want to share this because I think it sums up very well that Brittany had commented earlier today is that we all love the programming that you have, and people are not involved with you. They should be, because just the passion that you have for our community, for not even just our military community, but for just your local community and even humanity as well. It's something I think we could all if you could just bottle that up and ship it to us, so we could all have a little bit more of that, I think would be great. But we love you. I'm so glad you're able to come.
Like, and I thought about it for a second.
Today.
Bottle that up, put it on Etsy.
I mean, right? But no, thank you for taking time out of your day to join us today from all of the things that you do, because we know you're a busy woman making the magic happen in your community, and we appreciate that. So thank you for joining us today and being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody else joining us, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Make sure you join us again next week, same time, same place. Next week, we're going to be talking with some more industry folks. We're going to be talking about claims and what you need to know about the claims for your PCS, and to help you be able to navigate that and to have your PCS and all that go smooth. So join us next week, same time, same place. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you then.
Bye, guys.